Okay, we're here today with Boros. It's been a while since I've played uh, Boros on camera, at least. Like, I think my very first article is about Boros, but that was only when Innistrad was legal. So, like, the best card in your deck was, like, Instigator Gang. And that card is not even in this deck. You have Hellrider now, and Hellrider just blew that card way out of the water. I remember to go off topic a bit, in the one of my Dark Ascension articles, like when I was looking over like the new decks, the new cards, someone actually tried to argue that I know this was before any tournament data, so it wasn't proven, and games were hard to play with. But someone was arguing that Instigator Gang had a place in decks like above Hellrider. Like Hellrider was fine, but Instigator Gang was still better just because it had the ability to flip. And looking back now, that's pretty funny. But of course, I made a lot of wrong assumptions myself, so I shouldn't laugh too hard. Like I played Instigator Gangs for a while alongside Hellriders, and now they're just like there's no place for it. But anyway, today we're looking at Boros, and I'm actually recording this after the daily, just because it was an early morning daily, and I woke up too late to record a deck tech before the daily. So you might actually hear some yawns in uh, the daily, like especially the early rounds, because I just woke up. But I took this deck list from Puddin' Time. He won the premiere event. I think it was last week. I want to say last week with this deck, and I didn't change a card from it. I don't think because it was very good when playing. I think I'm playing an extra plains where he had like a mountain, but I have an even plains mountain split. Just 'cause I really like casting Silverblade Paladin on turn 3 more so than Hellrider on turn 4. And I also named Devil with Cavern of Souls a lot. But yeah, basic premise of the deck, obvious by now if you don't know it already. Champion of the Parish and all these humans, like Lightning, you have Silverblade Paladin for extra explosiveness, like you guys saw me lose to the Silverblade Paladin champion stuff. Gather the Townsfolk, Cloistered Youth, those are the main humans of the deck. All these guys right here. You got your champions, which pump by Gather and Cloistered Youth, and like all the other humans that I'm not talking about right now. Gather the Townsfolk's pretty much only in here for Champion of the Parish and Hellrider, because it's pretty useless. They just play Borderland Ranger and it's like shut down until you play Hellrider, and like you throw the tokens at their face. But and Silverly Paladin's an incredible card. One of the cards that makes the deck probably the best in the format. Like it can get shut down by other decks in the format, but it's pretty much the base of the format right now. You need to have some game against Boros to try to compete. Uh, and rounding out the human curve, you have Lightning Mauler, which I'm not actually a big fan of. Uh, it does allow you a little extra explosiveness game 1, where you can go like turn 1 Champ, turn 2 Lightning Mauler, no pair, turn 3 Silverblade Paladin, pair with Lightning Mauler to give it haste and swing, but usually you just want to like pair with Champion of the Parish anyway, so it's kind of awkward there. It's the draws where you like don't have champion, where you go Lightning Mauler, Silverleaf Paladin, swing for 8. Um, and Thalia obviously very good against Reanimator and control decks like Miracle. Those aren't getting a lot of play right now, probably because they're not super good against Boros. And Strongkirk Noble, the odd one in the deck. It's the only vampire in the deck, so whenever you name vampire with Cavern of Souls, you feel like the worst because your land is useless now. But it's still very good, like especially in the Boros format, which is the spot constructed format. You play it, and then they have a hard time blocking it. Like Zombies is the only block deck that can block Stromkirk Noble consistently. Yeah, it's just a very good card, especially when you get to pair it with Silverblade Paladin. It's a large game, and Hellrider, the best card in the deck probably. Just allows you to kill people from nowhere. There's actually a Restoration Angel in Puddin' Time's list, which seems weird, but actually you don't draw very often. But when you do, it always feels pretty good because you're not ever clogged with them, and they never expect it from you. So you can just throw it out there when they're attacking with their Hellrider or something and block it, or when they try to flip their Huntmaster, play it on their end of turn, or untap and protect your Silverleaf Paladin they're trying to kill after it's flipped if you didn't have enough mana to play it on their end step. It's just very flexible, very good. I do sideboard it out sometimes, but game 1 I really like it. And Mikaeus is for the game 1 gather the townsfolk. I sideboard out Mikaeus a lot. I don't know if that's right, but Mikaeus is a very combat heavy creature, and you look to minimize those because I'm not very good at combat decks. So you'll likely see me make a ton of misplays in these videos, and the one Devil's play just for a miser late game effect. And mana base is pretty simple. I have 8 plains, 8 mountains, 4 cliff top retreats, and see, record this after the daily. Got my Elspeth token and some packs. I guess that was spoiler alert there, since you get to see how many packs I got. Oh well. Where was I? I guess I'll talk about the sideboard. The best card in the sideboard, I think, is Nearheath Pilgrim. I'm considering main decking them now because it was really good in the daily. More spoilers. But yeah, the lifelink against the creature decks is just really good, especially if you can pair it with a Silverleaf Paladin or Hellrider, where you can just gain so much life that they can't come back from. And we have a couple Misers cards like Lead Inquisitor for zombie decks, Thalia for those control decks, and Fiend Hunter for Reanimator. I also have Bonfire for creature heavy decks, which is absolutely insane. You used to have to play Blasphemous Act in the Boros decks, which was already like a catch-22, because sometimes you can't deal, like if you're on the draw in the Boros Mirror, in the old Boros Mirror, with like Instigator gigs and such, you'd have to play some like number Blasphemous Act in your sideboard, because if you were on the draw, and they could have an explosive draw, and you just couldn't come back from it, so you'd like have to Blasphemous Act a board reset. But with Bonfire of the Damned, you can just play all your creatures out, hope to draw it, and crush them with it, because it's one-sided, unlike Blasphemous Act. And Riders of Gavany for mostly the Boros Mirror, though I boarded in against zombies and even a vampire deck one time, which was weird. And Zealous Conscripts mostly for a Reanimator. Sometimes I boarded in against Jund and I think it's just Jund basically. Oh, the Spirits deck, the Geist deck with like Silver Geist or Silverheart, Wolfear Silverheart, and Strangleroot Geist. That way you can steal their Wolfear Silverheart and like unpair it in a swing. And also for Jund, steal their Aristocrat, and for Reanimator, steal their Reanimator target. I actually like this card a lot. It has haste, which is so big. This card's very good. I like it. I mean, that's the deck. It's pretty straightforward. I think it's much harder to play than actually understand, because like you may think it's like easy to play, and it is to an extent. You get those draws where Stromkirk Noble or Champion of the Bearish just like runs all over them, and you don't have to do very much. But like any game involving 2 drops and 3 drops, like you have to think about, because if you don't have Hellrider or Stromkirk Noble to rely on, you actually have to like budget out your creatures carefully, and it's something I'm not very good at. I'm still trying to learn. Much better at like control decks and combo decks. But yeah, that's my deck tech for Boros, and now it's time for y'all to watch the daily videos. Unfortunately, you already knew I did because I didn't close the packs thing quick enough, because I didn't think about that. But whatever. Hopefully that doesn't ruin your enjoyment too much. But yeah, going to round 1.